It's been a while since we've been extremely uncomfortable watching a reacts video, and so today I thought we'd fix that by making you all-time uncomfortable. Just to give you an idea what's about to be in store today, this comment says, nobody, thumbnail, someone's fetish. This comment says, her brother, I'm just going to casually sell my sister for $50,000. That's weird, right? That's weird. Okay, I saw that, I saw the title, I said, whoa, this is totally my fetish. I said, this is weird, let's watch it and react to it. Here we go. My brother sold me for $50,000. We have no idea what we're getting into today. Let's cringe together, folks, and figure out, is it real?
My name is Gwen, and my story starts with the craziest announcement I have ever heard in my entire life.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what it was?
Well, you got
Gwen,
sold 50.
sis, that's your new family. I sold you to
What?
them for $50,000. Sounds
You
insane.
like how this thing starts? Hey sis, I sold you for $50,000. I feel like there'd be a little more drama than that, like a big celebration.
You bet your
like,
ass
I
it
don't know.
does. And yet, that's what my brother told me one sunny day when nothing seemed to be going wrong. Want to know how that came to happen?
Yes,
Let me tell you all about it.
he seems like
My
me.
brother Taylor has always been kind of weird.
No, you kidding.
And that's putting it mildly. He's freaking nuts.
Shows a clip of the brother lightly tapping you on the head. He's freaking nuts. Yeah, this is off to a great start,
Growing
guys.
up with him was a total nightmare.
Okay.
But before we move on,
Little bit.
like this video, hit that subscribe
No.
button.
Okay, I'll do it because I'll do it. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna dislike it. I don't like when people tell me to like. I hate that. Dislike from me, fam. I ain't about that life.
And activate the notification bell.
No.
This will let you live 20
Shut your mouth.
amazing
No.
years longer.
Don't.
Trust me, it works. He was the kind of guy your parents would tell you to stay away from. Well, my mom and dad
just took
couldn't
a
say
doll?
that because he was their son. My parents weren't neglectful or mean at all, mind you. They were amazing to my brother and me and tried so hard to raise us right.
All right, let's see. The dad's an accountant, the mom's a nurse, and then she's just like
When it came
a
to
straight A
me,
student.
it worked.
You know.
I studied really hard and behaved my best. They were really proud of
say?
me, and I love them
What'd I
very
say?
much. Taylor, on the other hand, was always getting in trouble. He talked back to teachers and did very,
Real talk. Did anyone go to a private school?
very poorly
Like
at
I never
school.
did. Do you actually have to wear
He even
uniforms like
smoked
this?
during the breaks in the bathroom
my
and was
goodness.
called to the headmaster's office every single day. My brother was even expelled from his school once, and my
Wow.
parents were really at their wits'
How are you gonna say that and
end.
not tell us how we got
You
expelled?
can't imagine what an annoying brat he was. Mom and dad tried everything to get him to behave properly. They took him to a therapist, spoke to him, grounded Taylor, and so many other stuff.
Wow.
They didn't know how to handle him, especially when he decided to sneak out of the window
He sounds like a normal teenage kid. Like, okay, he made some bad choices. We all did.
in
Like,
his bedroom
that's not
and
that bad.
disappeared
How do you
for
go from sneaking out your window to selling your sister for 50K?
Few
And where do you
days.
find a buyer for 50K? I got some
Imagine
questions.
how worried they got about him.
Sure.
And Taylor wasn't any nicer with me either. He would break every single doll my parents bought me and scribbled nasty words in my school books.
That's
He
just
would
a
even
circle.
hide
You don't know how to read. That's a circle. It's not a word, man.
my homework so I'd get in trouble.
He just
when
doesn't
I
seem-
asked
like, he
him
seems
why he
bad, but not
did
that
all of
bad.
that, he just said that it was fun. I explained
Maybe I'm
that it
bad.
hurt my
Maybe-
feelings.
I'm just
but
like, yeah,
he
this isn't too
didn't
bad.
really care at all. I was so glad when he moved away, believe me, but my happiness wouldn't last long.
Is anyone else
You see,
annoyed by
when
this
I was
girl's
17, something really bad happened.
She's
My
so
parents
slow
had an
talking.
accident, and they never returned home. They were both doctors and worked at the same hospital. It was
I did say she was a nurse. I kind of got it. Didn't think the dad was a doctor, though. He looked
a
like an
really
accountant to me.
rainy night,
Close.
and they were super exhausted.
Wow.
Mom and Dad had worked an extra long shift and shouldn't have been driving. I wish they had just called a cab.
You can just hear her reading the script. I wish they had drawn the cab. And, like, get a better voice actor if you're going to do this,
But
guys.
they
Come
didn't.
on.
I don't know if Dad fell asleep on the wheel or what.
That's killing me.
But I do know I never saw them again. The funeral was devastating. And to make matters worse, my brother
And to make matters worse, no one was there. You guys had 2 doctor parents and you didn't have a single person there
and
besides
I
you?
didn't have any other relatives.
Oh, okay.
No
My
aunts,
bad.
no
Didn't
uncles,
mean to
no
call you out like that.
grandparents. Yeah,
Mommy.
that's right. I was all alone
Yeah, that's right. You piece of crap.
with the
Make fun of me
crazy
again.
boy who
My bad,
made
my
my life a living nightmare while growing up. And do you want to know what my brother said to me while I cried on the way home?
I'm going to sell you for 50K, girl.
Good riddance. They were so annoying anyway. Oh
Okay, that's pretty
boy.
far,
I
I'll
couldn't
be honest.
believe he could be so twisted. I got super mad at him and told him to stop talking if he didn't have anything nice to say.
When are you gonna sell her,
And
dude?
I had
Let's
no
go.
choice but to move in with him. Only now, he wasn't a boy any longer. He was a man, and
What?
a mean one, too. He was what you would call a psychopath.
Really?
He would sometimes be really nice to me, but only when he wanted to get me to do something for him. But he made a relatively good living and could support me, so I had
He's
to put
evil.
up with his cruelty.
Oh my gosh.
When I graduated high school, I managed to earn a half scholarship, which meant that I had to take student loans in order to act.
Am I the only one like really fascinated by by the fact that they wrote in half scholarship? Like why? Why not just a
Actually
full?
go to
That's just
college.
unique.
I couldn't just move out and live in the campus dorms because I simply didn't have enough money to
Oh, that's
afford
why.
it.
Okay, there's
what
a story
did that
reason. Got
mean?
it. My
I
bad.
was stuck with my older brother,
No,
even
no.
if I was old enough to actually leave his house. I told myself that the second I got a good job, I'd move away. He offered to help me pay my debt, which I found super odd. I asked him what the catch was, and Taylor told me that he
Oh,
just wanted
man.
me to introduce him to my cute college friends.
What?
Believe me, I absolutely refused.
Here we go.
I didn't want any of my friends to be used by my brother and mistreated like
That's the face she just
I
made.
was. Imagine what they would say to me. I mean, sure, at first, Taylor comes across as super charming and handsome, but when you get to know him better,
Let's see, what is he doing here? Breaking a doll. So we don't know what's going on in the bottom left picture. That's probably not advertiser friendly. Here we have him just aggressively looking, and then here a pat on the head.
all the lies come crumbling down.
Okay.
And then he
Oh.
would begin acting super mean
Okay.
toward them. I'd lose friends because of his attitude. So no,
I mean, it seems more annoying than mean to
couldn't
me.
say
Like,
yes to
you
his
know?
offer.
was like a
Still,
second
when
grader
summer
type
came
thing.
around, I was in dire need of a break, and my brother, surprisingly, offered to invite me on a trip to Hawaii.
Wow.
It was super rare for him to be so nice, but I figured that it couldn't
look at
do
this
much
change
harm
of
to just
scenery.
say
I like
yes
that.
and try to
After being inside for 6 months straight, it's
spend
good
as
to
much
see a
time
beach
away from
drawing.
him as possible. I wanted to hit the beach and relax on the sand, so I said yes, and he seemed eerily happy.
Mm-hmm.
That was never, ever a good sign. But he continued acting super nice toward me,
Dang.
and the trip there was peaceful. So I figured maybe my brother was trying to make amends.
Look at that.
The
It's so
second
sweet.
our plane landed in Hawaii,
Yeah.
I fell in love with the island. It was such a peaceful, beautiful land,
When's he gonna sell her?
and I couldn't wait to enjoy my first vacation in such a long time.
They're building up the hype
We
so
had a
much right now.
surprisingly
Come on,
fun
sell her.
time, and Taylor was super nice toward me every single day. We partied on the beach, and he even bought me a few cute dresses. I couldn't believe how well everything was going. Maybe my brother was finally changing his ways? Perhaps he felt
Here we go,
bad
here we
about
go, here we go.
everything he had
Get
put me
hyped, guys.
through
This is
and
it.
was trying to make it up to me.
Yes.
Since he was the only family I had left, I wanted to believe that was possible.
That was weird.
I had always
Weird
wished
little
that
thing
my
right there
older
you did.
brother was loving and supportive.
Come on,
but that
come on,
had
come on.
never happened.
I don't. I get it. I get
Not
it. I
until
don't need your
then, at
backstory. We already
least.
know it.
The good times would soon end, though, as I finally realized what his plan was all along. I was sunbathing one day,
Uh-huh.
using one of the cutest bikinis I owned. In fact, Taylor had
Do you
insisted
notice every
I
story
used
has
it,
a bikini in it in some way? I'm just saying.
telling me, "You look so beautiful in it, sis. You shouldn't hide behind baggy clothes. Show some confidence." I thought that was really sweet of him.
Okay, all right,
I had
cool,
always
then.
been kind of self-conscious,
Okay.
though people often told me I was beautiful.
Good.
I guess it was a
For you,
consequence of
okay.
losing my parents while I was still in high school. Or perhaps all of the cruel pranks Taylor had pulled on me. Just when I began to believe that my brother was really changing his ways, I noticed he was speaking to this group of people. They kind of looked like a family,
What?
and a really wealthy one. They were dressed to the nines, even on the beach. They were all tan and gorgeous, and I hadn't seen my brother speak
They're actually more pale than your boyfriend or than your brother is. So like they're actually less pale. So the fact that you described him as tan is kind of weird to me.
speaking to them during our vacations. I was a bit confused,
Yeah.
and something about the way Taylor spoke to them worried me. So I walked over to him when the family left and confronted him about it. "Hey Taylor, who are those people?" I asked,
You didn't
giving
even
him a
open your mouth.
suspicious look. And that's when he told me those insane words that would change my life forever.
Here we go.
You already know what they are. Gwen, sis, that's your new family. I sold you to them for $50,000. Believe me, I went pale with anger. I began screaming at him, telling Taylor that he couldn't just sell me. He just shrugged and rolled his eyes at me, as if I was being unreasonable.
I mean, how you go from pranking your sister with a spider to selling her for $50K?
Reasonable.
Where's the intermediate there?
You have
That's a
student
big
debts,
jump.
and I have issues of my own. I can't keep supporting you forever. They are looking to adopt a daughter because they only have boys. But they don't want a girl since it's too much work.
What?
They want someone just like you, my brother explained.
What?
I was so
What does that even
mad
mean?
at him. I totally refused, but he told me that the family had paid for our plane tickets and hotel expenses after seeing my picture a few weeks ago. So that's why you invited me here?
Is that weird to me? I don't know anything about adoption, but it feels weird to see the picture and be like, oh, that's the one I want. I want her. Like, is that weird?
Screamed at him.
That seems weird.
And Taylor just nodded, as if it was completely normal. I pleaded with him not to do this, tried to convince him it was too insane, even for him. He had already made up his mind, though, and wasn't changing it. The very next day, we met up with this family and they gave him a briefcase filled with money.
What?
I couldn't believe what was going
The
on.
heck?
I was so mad at them as well and refused to speak to either my new mom and dad, as well as my so-called sibling.
She's 17? Can you buy a human at 17? I mean, probably, but can you adopt? Do you pay for adoption? Let's say you do. Is you adopt a 17-year-old? I mean, that's like just
Bit
about
by
an adult.
bit, though, I began to notice how nice and sweet they were. They never mistreated me and bought me all kinds of gifts. They really only wanted me to be part of their lovely family.
What about college?
Nothing else.
I got so
Plus,
many questions.
the
You better
mom who
close
was
these
called
loopholes for me.
Barbara kind of reminded me of my own mother. She took me out to dinner often with the rest of the family and bought me beautiful dresses.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I ended up falling in love with the eldest son of the family, Ryan. He was such a gentleman, and we dated for a while before he asked me to marry him.
You married your brother?
I thought maybe Barbara and her husband
There's always a twist in these you don't see coming.
would be
I didn't
mad
see
at
that
us,
one coming.
but their reaction stunned me.
That's weird, right?
Oh my god, I can't believe it. We are so happy for you guys. The wedding will be amazing.
Okay.
They both squealed, and believe me, I was incredibly relieved. You'll let me help you plan the wedding, right? Asked Barbara. I've always wanted to help my daughter choose her gown, cake, and
What?
guest list, but I never thought I would get to. I never spoke to my brother Taylor again. He wasn't
I mean, I'm glad
invited
she's
to my
happy,
wedding.
I guess. I don't know. I mean,
And I blocked
whatever.
his number from
I
my
don't
phone
know.
when
I'm
he
not gonna-
tried to text me, asking for money.
Wow.
He means nothing to me now.
Okay.
And I have a new, lovely family that actually cares about me. I'm surprisingly glad that Taylor decided to sell me for $50,000 because it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me.
I
Now,
mean,
I'm married to the
good
sweetest
for
guy
you.
in the world, and my new parents are so supportive of everything I do.
I guess
They
you
even
just.
paid off my student loans,
I mean,
and I got to graduate with honors.
okay, I'm glad. But like, did you have to marry your brother in it? Did you have to be sold? You could have like run away. You're 17 years old. I just don't get. I feel like if you were younger, but then you couldn't have got married. You know, I don't. This one just left a nasty feeling in my body. I didn't like her voice a lot. I thought it was kind of uncomfortable. But, you know, lesson learned, guys. If you're ever being sold to someone for $50K, maybe go for it. Maybe it's a good idea. I think that's the takeaway from today's episode. Real or fake? Do I think this story actually happened? I'm gonna have to go with a hard no. I think this is completely fake. I don't think it ever happened. Maybe I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. But I think this one did not happen. As always, look at that screen. I'll see you guys in a couple days for more videos. Peace.